In the heart of the lush savannah, where the tall grasses danced in the wind and the sky stretched endlessly blue, there lived a young elephant named Ellie. Unlike the other elephants in her herd, who were bold and adventurous, Ellie was often timid and cautious. She would always linger at the edge of the group, watching but afraid to join in the fun. Ellie's herd roamed the savannah, guided by their wise matriarch, Nana. One day, as the golden sun started to dip below the horizon, Nana announced, "Tomorrow we will journey to the great watering hole. It is a place of plenty, but can be dangerous. We must stick together and be brave." That night, as Ellie curled up against her mother, she worried about the journey. The thought of facing unknown dangers made her trunk tremble. "What if something happens?" Ellie whispered, her eyes wide with fear. Her mother, sensing her unease, gently wrapped her trunk around Ellie. "Courage isn't about not being afraid," she murmured. "It's about facing your fears even when you are. Remember, my dear, you are braver than you believe." The next morning, with the sun shining brightly overhead, the herd set out for the great watering hole. As they traveled, the ground beneath them resonated with the beat of their powerful steps. The path was long, leading through tall grasses and beneath towering acacia trees. Along the way, Ellie spotted colorful birds flitting between the branches and heard the distant roar of lions. Her heart raced, but she stayed close to her mother's side. As they approached a narrow ravine, the ground beneath Ellie's feet began to shift. Without warning, she found herself tumbling down a small slope, separated from the herd. "Ellie!" called her mother, panic in her voice. Ellie landed with a soft thud in a thicket, branches scratching her sides. She was scared and alone. Taking a deep breath, Ellie remembered her mother's words. Though fear gripped her, Ellie began to look for a way back up the slope. She used her strength to push aside branches and her trunk to test the ground ahead. Slowly but surely, she climbed, each step bringing her closer to the sound of her family. Suddenly, she heard the rumbling growl of a leopard nearby. Out of instinct, Ellie stopped and stood very still, just like she had seen the older elephants do. The leopard, more curious than hungry, watched her for a moment before slinking away into the shadows. With renewed determination, Ellie continued her climb, eventually finding a path back to her herd. As she emerged from the thicket, her mother rushed to her side, wrapping her trunk around Ellie with relief. "You did it, Ellie!" Nana trumpeted, pride shining in her eyes. "You faced your fear and found your way back." Ellie beamed, feeling a new strength inside her. "I was scared, but I remembered what you said," she told her mother, "and I felt brave." Together, the herd continued to the great watering hole, where cool, refreshing water awaited them. As they drank and played in the sparkling pools, Ellie moved with newfound confidence, no longer lingering at the edge. That evening, under the glow of the setting sun, Ellie realized she had discovered something wonderful. It wasn't that the world had become less scary, but that her courage had grown bigger. And with that courage, she knew she was truly part of the herd, ready for any adventure that lay ahead. From that day forward, Ellie was known as Ellie the Brave.